Well, good afternoon, everyone. Kind of good morning. We haven't quite made it to the afternoon, but right now things are pretty quiet across much of the Metroplex. This is our Clyde Warren Park camera, and we do have some sunshine outside. But if you look to the north, you can see the clouds coming in. We do have some storms off to the north, and those storms, they are currently not severe. There is a very low threat that they even produce some wind and hail. Right now, we are still actually seeing some wind gusts around 30 at times, maybe 35 miles an hour. But, you know, early this morning, we did have those showers and storms move across Oklahoma. They have now crossed the Red River. So when you look to the north, you can definitely see those storms coming in. As we zoom in a little bit more closely, some of the heaviest rain now exiting out of Sherman. Sherman's still seeing some moderate rainfall, but you can see the heaviest of the rain now from Sanger down towards Anna and Bonham. And you can also see how we have quite a bit of lightning with these storms. You can also tell that we've got an outflow boundary with these storms. It's out ahead of that main line of storms. And even with that boundary, even the fact that there's no storms with that particular boundary, you could actually feel those wind gusts with that. We could see wind gusts at around 35 miles an hour, even just with that boundary, as it pushes right through McKinney and Frisco. It's already moves just south of Denton. It's moving towards Louisville, Decatur. You've already had that boundary move through. But we also have some rain and storms kind of on the backside of this as well. You can see that isolated shower and storm moving really east towards Bowie. Eventually, everything will move off to the south and east. So zooming a little more closely to this, it kind of looks like it's weakening as it moves east towards Bowie. You can also see that one shower just south of Archer City. Doesn't look like it's doing much out there. Taking a look at our hail detector right now. Good news is I'm not seeing any hail with these storms. Earlier, when they were a lot closer to the Red River, really around Oklahoma, it was looking like there could have been maybe some pea-sized hail, but since then, that's gone away. Our storm velocity product showing where that wind is. You can definitely see there is going to be a little bit of a wind gust here, but these winds, they look really weak. We're talking 30 to maybe 35 miles an hour. This is one of my favorite products because it shows you what the storms are doing strength-wise. When you start to see the pinks and purples, that means those storms are really ramping up. But notice we've got a lot of greens and blues. The storm really in between Sherman and Anna, so it's moving. It should actually stay on the eastern sides of Anna if it holds together, eventually making its way towards Greenville and Commerce. Not severe, but that is the strongest part of the storm, and that is where we would have that heavier rain, maybe quite a bit of lightning and wind gusts to 35 miles an hour. So as we go throughout the day today, we're at least going to have a chance that a storm or two could ramp up and become severe. But what we're looking at is a severe weather outlook for later this afternoon and evening. Some good news as the latest data comes in, it's showing more like the severe storms, the stronger storms for later today are starting to push more south and west of the Metroplex. So earlier this morning when I was showing this graphic, this orange or the enhanced risk was actually a little bit farther across Denton, McKinney, and covered parts of Terrell and even Decatur, but since then they have just kind of moved it off to the south. I think we're keeping it over DFW just in case because we just can't rule it out at this point. But as of right now, the severe threat seems to be lowering a little bit for the Metroplex and areas off to the north and east. Now, temperature-wise, it's pretty warm outside already, a little muggy as well, but where the storms have come through, we've dropped down into the low 60s. We're at 79, though, in Dallas, 80 in Terrell, 75 degrees in Denton. So once the storms come through, once that outflow boundary comes through, the temperatures are going to fluctuate quite a bit. Looking at the latest timecast, I'm starting it at noon today, and it's showing that the storms that are coming through out to the north right now are going to continue to weaken and eventually move off to the south and east. But late this afternoon, after about 2 or 3 o'clock, we should start to see some more isolated storms form kind of in that same area. And these will have a little bit better time trying to become a little stronger, maybe some wind gusts over 40, 50 miles an hour. But I think what we're really going to be watching for later this evening was taking place out to the west. These have the higher potential of becoming severe and producing those wind gusts of 60 miles an hour, maybe up to quarter-size hail. So this is going to be 5 o'clock. You can see kind of a broken line of storms from Wichita Falls all the way down towards Eastland, west sides of Granbury, also watching those storms out near Abilene. Well, this is going to form just kind of a large complex of rain and storms that will eventually rush off to the south and east. But this is where that severe threat will be high. So this is going to be 7 o'clock, and we're looking at Granbury to Stephenville to Brownwood, Coleman, and just south of Eastland. That is where we're going to be seeing the stronger part of the storms, and it kind of misses the Metroplex. The Metroplex still seeing the rain and possibly a few thunderstorms, but that severe threat is really starting to lessen for later this evening. So some great news there. At about 11 o'clock, the stronger storms really south of Corsicana and Palestine over towards Waco, but Dallas, Fort Worth, we're just seeing some scattered showers, maybe not even much lightning left. By 1 o'clock, you can see most of the thunderstorms are now weakening quite a bit, but we're still going to have some showers in some of our southeast counties. Overnight tonight, we're keeping the clouds around. I think for the most part, it does look pretty dry. And then tomorrow afternoon, skies become partly sunny. It looks really nice. Temperatures make it into the upper 70s. On Tuesday, mostly sunny. Highs in the low 80s. We're in the upper 80s for Wednesday. So kind of a gradual warm up. Unfortunately, by next weekend, those storm chances do return. In fact, looking at the whole second half of that 14-day, it is looking more like an unsettled weather pattern. We have several chances of rain and storms.